Hi, Polisha. I'm so sorry I'm
Hi, how are
late a
you?
little bit. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. It must be early Titai, like 8:30 a.m. Pretty early for me.
It is pretty early. Pretty early, but it's fine.
Yeah,
Kind of
thank.
used to getting early in the morning because of
That's
work and
good.
also.
My schedule is so like unorganized right now, or yeah, whatever. But thank you so much for joining, and for everyone who's listening, this episode is going to be about Nasana and her business. Is it okay if I call it a business, or how would you like it to be termed?
Yeah, you can call it a small business. So it is a business.
Okay, it's a small business, and I think you're doing an amazing work. And as soon as I remember, I think like you after post any like official announcement, Gaurika, I was like, I felt so proud and inspired, and I was like, I want to talk to her. I want to know like what how she did this and like how it all added up together, you know. So before we even get started about your business and all that, would
Okay.
you like to tell the audience who you are, a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much, Parisha, for inviting me for a podcast. And I'm kind of used to being on the other side of the podcast, taking interviews. So I'm quite nervous being the guest here. So thanks a lot for this opportunity again. So I'm Nasana Bajracharya. I'm 23 years old. And right now I am a founder of an upcycled business called Rikriti. So apart from that, I'm doing my master's in sustainable development, and I had recently completed my bachelor's. And after my bachelor's, I decided to finally start my idea that I had been working for more than 3 years. And then when I started my business too, and then I came across the degree master's in sustainable development, and it felt like it fits in my puzzle, and I joined both. And right now I am working on my business. I'm studying, and at the same time I do have some side hustles,
Wow,
doing
that's a
jobs here and
lot.
there.
That's a
Yeah,
lot. You're doing a great job. Way to go. For I don't know, this might be very out of context, right? Not that
yeah,
whoever is for whoever the like the people who are listening right now, I just want to mention that Nasana and I go way back. Like I
a
think
lot.
known each other like since what kindergarten, like
No,
almost.
I don't think kindergarten. We were in school. I remember you were one of my really, really good friend, and we went to each other's birthday parties. We
Yeah,
used to
I
give
actually, if you
gifts.
don't mind, I have a picture. Is it okay if I show a
Yeah.
picture?
Oh
I
my
actually
god.
found a picture.
Sure.
I was in your house, and this is Nasana and I, and look how cute and little we were. We're both wearing green for some reason. I don't know. I think this was your birthday,
Mm.
probably. I think this was your birthday
Ah,
party. I don't
could
remember
be, could
exactly.
be. I
Yeah,
also don't remember. I just remember we were friends since 1 or 2 class. I don't remember the exact
yeah.
class,
I
but
think
yeah.
I think one or two class बढेपछि we became friends because हामी एउटै सेक्सनमा पर्यो तर त्योभन्दा अगाडि
Mm.
चाहिँ because we were like in the same neighborhood, right? So I
Yeah,
think
we.
I remember my mom like talking to your mom and all that, and I remember just looking at you, and I think a year or two after that we became like एउटै class, like we के भन्छ ended up in the same section class or whatever.
Yeah,
त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ we went to same school, we were neighbors, and it just feels so like I just feel so happy कि भित्रैबाट because I know, I mean, we have not been like so good friends like over the years, and like
I know.
changed schools, I changed schools
Yeah,
and all that.
exactly.
But I'm just happy that I think we found a way towards each other for like a good cause, and
I
I'm
know.
just really happy to have you here. Okay, like too much into like personal life, you know. But you actually already answered some of my questions when you mentioned that 3 years like you had been thinking about this. I know,
Mm,
but
mm.
I know like when I see a lot of people do business who want to start something on their own, but what made you pick like this particular field? Okay, like business funny, like there's so many things you could do as a businesswoman, I know. But what
Mm.
made you come up with this idea, or what rather inspired you to
So it kind of built up to this final idea. So I wanted to start my business before 3 years when I was still in my still pursuing my BBA. So at that time I was only interested in made in Nepal products because every time number one we lived in New Road, right? We lived in a major shopping hub of Kathmandu, And then at that time you see a lot of products everywhere and you just do not find uniqueness in them. And then when I was able to on a bit, and then I was able to afford the made in Nepal products, I was really proud of myself. Okay, I just told myself that I want to buy as much locally produced products as possible. I want to support the local businesses. So my initial interest was in the local business. But then I used to follow a lot of local businesses in Instagram and Facebook. And then I came across the sustainable business models. And then I was curious, let's say. I did not know much about the sustainable business back then. I was curious. So what exactly are sustainable products, what exactly are companies doing in Nepal, what exactly are companies doing in abroad. So I was curious about that. I used to just informally research in Instagram and Facebook. And then one time there was this startup competition in my university. So they came up with Kathmandu University. I don't remember exactly the name. It was startup, just entrepreneurship boot camp for it was 3 days, 2 nights, and then I was interested, and they asked us to submit our ideas. And at that time, I was pretty clueless about the ideas, but luckily, what happened was, it was the program came just after Dasai NTR. The application were open after Dasai NTR, and as a local of New Road, you notice that after the major festival of Dasai NTR, the streets are filled with
Plastic,
clothes,
so much
plastic
plastic.
clothes. Oh my god, it's like you can't believe ki there is so much of waste. If it's a lane of this much, then this part is filled with clothes that are
Yeah.
not sold even after the sale. And then they used to lie there when the shopkeepers used to go back to their home, and then only after 1 or 2 days they used to get picked up. So the ideas strike my mind that why not make something out of those products, right? I had to submit an idea and I thought about it. The first thing that came into my mind was that waste needs to be utilized. That waste should not be dumped in the landfill and contribute to more pollution.
Right.
So I just went to YouTube, I just went to Pinterest, and then I just researched about them. And then I came across so many things that you could do by upcycling the products. So much of those products would end up in the landfill. And since they are already on the streets, I did not had hope that they would be taken by any charities or they would go for sale anyway because they are just thrown out there. And then I was just thinking, I just saw so many opportunities. And then I began to research on what could we do by upcycling the products. And then after that, I joined a number of volunteering. I connected with a number of people who are working in upcycling, who are working in sustainable businesses. And then, but I did not have that much courage to actually start something of my own because I struggle in finding co-founders because it was very specific. My idea was very specific to I want to upcycle old clothes. I don't want to make anything new out of any new fabrics. So it was hard to actually find people who would be interested to join me. And it took me time to actually have the courage to start. And another part was I did not want to borrow anything to start my business. So thought maybe I should network first. I should get my knowledge first. I should earn something to invest first. And then only after I finished my bachelor's, I used some of my savings and invested.
That's amazing. So I had never really, let's say, upcycle one is in terms, Sunny. I
Mm.
don't know if it's
Mm.
like it's like something to be ashamed of. I think that I really didn't know there was something called upcycling. Okay, I knew there
Yeah.
was like reuse, recycle,
Mm.
and third. There's three
Reuse,
R's. The
3 hours,
reuse,
reduce and
yeah,
recycle.
reduce is the one I missed. So
Yeah.
reduce, reuse,
Yeah.
and recycle. So that was what we're taught in schools. I never really thought there was like a term called upcycle. Ani
Mm.
arko thing that really intrigued me about this idea was I also very recently, and maybe it's been 2 3 months, I've been very conscious of buying less.
Yeah.
You pretty you I'm sure you pretty much know that I put it all over
Right.
Instagram that I went vegan, and after that I became like very, you didn't know I went vegan.
I know you are
Oh,
vegan.
okay, you had like big shock. Okay, whatever. So after that I started researching it, basically like
Mm.
everything. Ani
Mm.
last month what I ended up learning was we are just this fast fashion thing.
Yeah.
We're just using like we're just buying so much that we don't need. Okay?
Mm.
And so much
Yeah,
of it is
exactly.
ending up in landfills. And it's just I just felt very bad being a shopaholic all these years. And I think like I have literally pledged to buy as much less as possible. And if
Mm.
there are things that I can buy from thrift stores, then I will buy from thrift stores where I've decided, actually I've pledged him on, and I
Mm.
really want um walk the talk. And um yeah, I think it's really, really amazing. Orko, could I want to ask? I'm not sure if this is like very much aligned with your business or anything like that. What do you have to say just about plastic pollution or just pollution in general in Kathmandu? Because I remember Marie Kriti, her Instagram handle is Kriti of her business. I know I'll probably put
Mm.
a link down below in the description. I remember you put like a story about, I think there were pictures of like all these plastics and like pollution
Yeah.
all around Kathmandu, especially like New Road. It's just I still have images of those like heaps and heaps of like
Yeah.
dirt, just like lying on the street. What do you have to say about that? Do you have any? I mean, I'm not an expert in this, and I don't know if you have like a lot of knowledge of this yourself. But what do you think about that, and what do you think we can do like in an individual level?
So I think it's not just a problem of New Road. This problem lies in a number of big major cities. So, but the major problem in New Road is that all those plastics that you see in New Road
Yeah,
are single-use plastics, right? So, since New Road is like the shopping hub for so many people. It's like the
right.
shopping hub of Kathmandu. So
Yeah,
there are a number of products, a number of shops, and most of those shops use single-use plastics. So I think the part of the reason why New Road is more polluted than other places is because of the use of single-use plastics, and they are dumped every single day by so many people, right? And another one thing is that about the pollution is not just because of the plastic, because right now also the solid waste management is not properly done in New Road. One of the
okay.
reason is that because since few years, I don't remember the particular data, but since few years, what news is coming up is that Kathmandu is getting very polluted. Our dumping sites do not have much space to
So they're
accommodate
saturated.
solid
They
waste.
can't take
They're
any more load.
saturated. So what is happening is there is a place called Sisdol. So the waste of Kathmandu is now going to Sisdol, right? But before the waste of Kathmandu is going to Sisdol since I think 2015 or 2017. I don't particularly remember. Kathmandu is saturated, so it's going to Sisdol. But again, uh, the trucks need to come, right, to come to take the waste from Kathmandu to Sistol. And I think the problem right now arises because those vehicles are not able to move from here and there to take the wastage. But that doesn't change the fact that we just produce a lot and lot of waste, which is just making it hard to manage them. And Kathmandu is saturated. Now we are like taking our carbon footprint to another district, another region, and which are Sistole is getting polluted, and maybe the people there are getting affected by the pollution which they did not even produce. That
Right.
came from Kathmandu. That's
Yeah.
very sad. Yeah.
That is very sad. I don't know how much of it is true. I know. I
Mm.
read somewhere. I might be. I mean,
Mm.
I'm not big on like reading news and all that stuff. That I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
USA used to send over their waste to China, and I think China like said they don't want to take China or some country. I don't know that they said they don't want to take the waste anymore from US and other countries, and I think that happened. I think in recent years, and I think it also says that. I mean, not says one. Okay, but it also I'm नेपालमा भन्छु होइन के भन्छ I really can't find the word. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, as you said, that one place produces the waste and the other place has to take that load for no reason. I think the same thing happened with China. I think where they're like didn't produce this waste and we don't want it anymore. And I have seen some videos of in some countries where they are very, very creative and very, very using the technology in a way where they are using like plastic like like unsa nahi transform kar, they're making something, they're making some use of it, and I think
Mm.
a lot of countries they really need to adopt that.
Yeah, so just like you said, I'm not so that much updated with the news. So I'm
Yeah,
sorry if any listeners are finding the correction in what we are seeing.
yeah,
So I don't know exactly the data, but I just read these somewhere. And then what you're saying is that I don't know about China, but when you talk about fast fashion and what we talk about upcycle fashion generally, so we just said ki you realized our consumption habit, our shopping habit is so unhealthy that we are buying things that we don't even need, you know. So
yeah,
in Cambodia there is like a city is like filled with the fast fashion clothes that got dumped there, okay, from the fast fashion brands. So basically what happens is right now, how many I want to ask one question there, how many seasons do you think there is, do you know there is?
there are 4 seasons, isn't it?
Exactly, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have studied and we know that there are 4 seasons, right? But now in the fashion industry, there are more than 70 seasons.
What?
So
70
yeah,
seasons?
not in case of weather or not in case of
But
whatever is
like
going around us
staying
for
up
the
to like
trend.
the fashion trends.
Yeah, yeah. For
Wow.
staying up to, there are like 70 seasons, right? From the fast fashion brands. I think the fast fashion brand that is introducing 70 season is like Sheen. And I think the other fashion brands, I don't know about H&M and Zara. They have, they are trying to reduce their, let's say, overproduction, overconsumption. They are doing something. They are starting to
Yeah,
do something. But there are other fast fashion brands that are like making consumer feel like they're missing out and they want
yeah.
to, it's not like now some people might say "Ki, our, the consumers have so much demand, they want so much good products, they want so much good thing, that the demand is so high for fashion products, we have to produce to meet that demand." They will
It's
just
the
throw
other way
the,
around.
exactly, they will just throw the basic economics on your face. It's demand and supply, that's how it works. They demand, we supply. But actually what is going on is that as you see, if you see before like 10 12 years, you would not see like shops changing the seasons again and again and again, like every week there are new products, right? That's because there's overproduction. There are more than like 60 70 seasons from big fashion brands, and because of that consumers feel that they are missing out and they are getting used to, they are being like brainwashed, they're being made to think, okay, I need to buy a lot of things. They are cheap too, because since there's mass produce, they are cheap. And
Yeah,
then if you are getting a lot of things in a cheaper price, then why would consumers not do that, not buy, right?
right,
So but even if you want so many things, you already have a lot of things. So in order to declutter your closet, people throw away the things, and the clothes that are produced are also not produced in a way to fit exactly the demand. They produce more. So once the season is out, the stock they have is left, and we will use them. There's already so much product in the market. So the overproduced products are then shipped to the developing countries or underdeveloped countries, and they are dumped there. Either they are burnt or they just end up in the landfill.
this is really sad. I have like two things to
Yeah,
mention here.
yeah,
Well, I don't know कहाँ पढेको थिएँ होइन that
mm,
these big brands like Louis Vuitton and like all these big brands
mm,
like high class brands a bunch like I mean regular middle class people can't even afford it, no?
mm,
When they overproduce and if they have so much like so much so much like so many clothes in stock,
mm,
they would rather like burn it and suddenly like put it into waste rather than like donating or rather than like like reusing it in some way because it
mm.
will affect their image or affect their
Yeah,
the
yeah,
image of the brand. Like I was like,
yeah,
what
exactly.
the hell? Like what the hell? And
Just
that
change the label and
yeah,
donate it.
yeah, and it's so sad, you know. And it's not just about fashion. Yeah, I've read this about like furniture as well, you know. I think I saw a
Mm,
post lately. I've been like following all these things and Sunny just to aware myself. And I think there was a post where there was like a picture of so many couches being dumped, new couches, brand new couches, because like they could not be sold. And rather than like donating them or do like using them again, they just put it in the trash just because they don't want to ruin the reputation of the brand. Okay. And it's
yeah,
and same with food. Same
Oh
with
my God,
food.
food.
Like
Exactly,
you don't
exactly.
want to give it to the homeless because again people will think it's for free, and like again it's again the brand thing. It's so heartbreaking. And I don't know about in a way हामीले पनि as you said we're brainwashed in a way that
Yeah,
I think it's high time we start researching these things, what we consume. And Sheen, as you mentioned, oh my god, I was one of those people who was buying a lot of things from Sheen.
mm,
And I was not aware. And I remember one of my friends mentioned like it's not ethical, right? And I was like
mm,
the ethical unethical like you. She said unethical. I was like,
mm,
okay,
mm.
whatever I miss cheap. It's I mean I get to buy these new products every month and so I was like, I mean, I'm happy. But she so gonna happen after I turned vegan and I started just researching this and I saw that oh my god, it's not just unethical like the cruelty related to animals, animal cruelty to China, but the way they're exploiting like humans. Like
Exactly.
I was like so shocked. I mean, they're paid so less, they're
Mm,
overexploited, and even
mm.
like there have been incidents or reports of incidents where they're even using children. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
like wow, I'm not buying from this brand ever. But yeah, being on the other end, it's an like it's just the at most maybe you take half an hour to buy a dress, and you don't even think like half
Mm,
an hour decision, like you don't even think yeah,
exactly,
like what must have been the
exactly.
history of this fabric that I'm holding. But I think we really need to think about it. And I'm really happy that we're having this conversation, and there needs to be more and more businesses like yours, more recycling, more upcycling, and um, yeah, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Do you have anything to add regarding this brand and fast fashion?
Yeah, so I don't know if you know about it or not. The fast fashion term started to take a lot of limelight, and this there is an organization, international movement. Let's say, is it a movement or organization? It started as a movement, but now it's an international organization which are in a number of countries. It's in Nepal too. Yeah, so there's an organization called Fashion Revolution. So uh, it began after the movement when in 2015, I guess, in Bangladesh there was a Rana Plaza accident. So in the Rana Plaza, it was so Bangladesh was like one of those countries where the big brands, big billionaire brands of fast fashion, that are H&M and Zara, and I just don't know the number of other brands, but first thing that comes into mind is H&M and Zara. So their products used to be produced there in the Rana Plaza, right? So the Rana Plaza had seen a number of cracks in the building. There were cracks in the building, and there wasn't a proper exit. There wasn't a proper ventilation in the entire building, and then the building had thousands and thousands of garment workers working there, and there were a lot of workers. And before 2 days, there were cracks in the building, and the workers complained that they don't want to go and work there today because they are scared that building will collapse because there are so much cracks. But
Yeah,
they had to produce, they had to manufacture the clothes, they had to send it to the and these garment factories are not like directly supervised by the brands itself. So the brands delegate the work of production to other small subsidiaries, and not even subsidiaries, they just delegate it to the manufacturers, and they delegate it to the garment factories basically, right? So they complained, but they were forced to go inside and work. And then the Rana Plaza collapsed. The
yeah,
Rana Plaza collapsed, thousands of people died, so many people were injured, and after that only the movement of fashion revolution began. And then the big designers who were firstly working in the fast fashion industries, they realized that okay, this is so wrong, because the thousands of people losing their lives opened their eyes. And the big designers who were conscious, who were getting aware about how unethical, how polluting this fast fashion industry is, they began the revolution. And now the fashion revolution is there in a number of countries, in India, in Cambodia, in a lot of places, and there is one in Nepal too, Fashion Revolution Nepal. So
right.
basically, from 22nd April, I don't exactly remember, there is a called thing called Fashion Revolution Week. And then at this week, a lot of ethical influencers, a lot of fashion brands just come together to make people aware about the fashion revolution. So I want to say that the thing you said about being a shopaholic, and then getting things in a cheap way, and not even
Cheap,
like
quick,
thinking
yeah,
cheap, quick, and not even thinking about like half an hour to get a clothes. Like पहिला हामी युरोपमा जाँदाखेरि we used to go to like so many shops, and we used to try the clothes, and we used to think a lot. Now shopping was
yeah.
used to be a core that you need to separate one day for. Now you have it like,
On
even
your
if you check
phone.
Instagram, exactly, on your phone, and if you just like two pieces, two posts of a fashion page, you get so many
The
sponsored ad,
algorithm
and
does the work. Yeah,
you have like crazy options, right? But
yeah,
we should like, I don't know, we should feel guilty or not about that. Our demand led to so much of people to being exploited and all, but all this is really wrong. And then, yeah, as you said about human exploitation, so I wanted to connect it to that, the fashion Rana Plaza uh, collapse, and about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But I know it's great that they realize it, and it just makes me so sad. Ki, like it, people needed to die for them to realize. Okay, them
Mm,
just
mm,
being exploited, them just not getting enough pay, them just not getting enough rights. Suddenly, like maybe
mm,
workers, right? I'm sure I'm not saying the right term. Like workers, like not a certain rights in Sunny.
mm.
So them
Yeah,
not getting that was not enough for these people to realize that this is wrong manera. Ani, I'm not
exactly.
sure if there is like Thakta Namboy. Now you do know Hassan Minhaj. He's
No, I
this
don't.
he's American Indian American. I'm pretty sure I'm flipping it like the other way around. That there is this comedian based out of US, and he does Patriot Act is the show, and you should watch it on Netflix. I'm
Mm,
pretty sure it's on YouTube also, and he has this whole episode about fast fashion. Okay,
yeah, okay.
yeah, and I remember watching that, and I watched it. It was like hands, and I just forgot about
Mm,
it. But I fully researched because I realized how cruel it is, one, right? Na? That I think
mm,
we all need to really think about it. And unnecessary, unnecessary. This even like joke me, like women have so many clothes, but they don't have outfits, whatever. And I think we need to stop promoting it. I mean, I, I kind of use that joke a lot myself, but I just feel very bad right now. I mean, people are actually like being exploited, children are being exploited. I know it's like it's not perfect with family use got correct
mm,
cheese but like maybe someone has been exploited, like even this, like I was reading about iPhones and like how
mm,
there's all different stories, so Apple the different stories I know that I mean minimize गर्न सकिन्छ भने किन नगर्ने भन्ने कुरा हो नि त हैन. So I
exactly.
think everyone who's listening, I think we need to be very conscious of our choices and um, don't buy it if you don't need it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. The major the major focus about being having a doing a responsible consumption is that if you buy something, buy only if you need it, and even if you buy something, then use it. Okay? Use it properly, because this thing like I'm wearing this shirt, you are wearing that top, right? So that came from somewhere, some resource you was utilized for it. So much of it starts from you have to go like way back to understand the value of what you own. Okay? If you talk about our clothes, then it came from somewhere, from a farm where cottons were produced, right? So a lot of land was used. Then there is the water consumption that goes in making the top that you're wearing, making the fabric that you're wearing. And then comes the labor who put in their hard work to make that cloth, and it then shipped from somewhere, and it then came to us, right? And then so much of resources used, like we don't even think about how much has been used, so many people involved in what we own, and then we buy it, and if we don't need it, we keep it, or
Throw
worse,
it.
we throw it away, right? But
Yeah,
what I recently came across was that if you want to be sustainable, you don't have to like put pressure on yourself. You have to buy the locally produced. You have to buy the expensive products that are like made from natural fabric. Even if you buy something you like from fast fashion, then you need to put justice to what you bought. Okay? Because if you buy something from fast fashion and you make the optimum utilization of it, then you are pretty much doing the right thing. You don't have to like search and find a particular product made of this fabric, that fabric made here and there. Even
yeah,
if you give justice to what you own, you are pretty much doing a lot. And
yeah,
it's sad that that's the bare minimum that we expect. We have to
yeah,
tell people to. That's sad.
yeah. Also, you also mentioned like buying locally, na? Ani,
Mm.
I'm not sure how much if it is true. I haven't really bought locally. I haven't actually bought anything since I went vegan. I've just been trying to using this is literally my work clothes. I've been just hiding the logo, you know. So I've just
Mm.
been trying to use the same thing over and over.
Okay.
But buying locally, I'm not sure. I think this is pretty much true that locally kinda the price is slightly higher.
Yeah, it
Is it
is.
true? Because that's locally produced and but it's a smaller business, they have smaller investment and like they have to
Yeah.
have bigger profit margin from whatever they sell. But these fast
Mm.
fashions are like pre-capitalized Santani, they can make a lot of money even if they sell. I don't understand business, but this is probably like the best I can
It is true.
make.
Yeah.
I can make sense of what I'm saying. Okay, even if they produce, I mean, if they sell things in a very less price, they can actually make good money out of it. And that's really sad, you know. Like I hope
Mm.
it
I
was
know.
the other way around, but
Yeah,
it's
because
not.
about in Nepal also there are a number of. It's a really good thing in Nepal that within like 5 to 6 years there are so many brands that are switching to natural based products. They are made in Nepal clothes, and they are like even upcycle business are a lot of in rise right now. Like I won't say that I'm the like I entered the market early. I will say that I entered the market because I was confident to enter this market of sustainable business because I felt confident कि okay नेपालमा market development थालिसक्यो भनेर होइन. That's
Yeah,
really good. But again, when you talk about the customer base, you and I would choose products because we know about all this background about like how much there is pollution, how much is not ethical and all, you know. But for a consumer, since we are bombarded with so much ads and we have so many options, when a consumer likes locally based products, and even if they are told कि okay this is locally made, this is made in Nepal, like अब तपाईँको देशमै बनेको product हो, they feel special. But when they hear the price, they're a little bit disheartened because back of your mind it will feel like I can get this in a much cheaper price from New
yeah,
Road or any other online store. And that's
yeah,
sad because so much of effort have been there to think about like how okay as a business owner myself, I was just thinking okay I know about all this background, all this history about the pollution, and I know okay, I need to produce responsibly. I put so much of effort in it. And when we go to the customers, when we go to the local markets, and they're like यो त मैले न्यू रोडमा 400मै पाउँछ, यो किन 600 रुपियाँ डिस्काउन्ट दिनु न, जब कि we are aware कि we should not be charging high price because consumers would not agree. And we set the margin that way, and then the consumers say that we are like we try to explain, some luckily some agree and some they want to buy the product, but some are like we'll contact you or like we'll follow the fee, and it's sad.
yeah. It's sad, and it's almost like a cycle, Boy. You want to people collectively want to reduce pollution in a way, so they want to buy locally produced goods, but
Mm,
then you won't be able to do that because okay you're from a middle class family or whatever, and then you would be like,
mm.
oh, you're 80 rupiah, okay, this thing say money save, but I can buy something else for it. That might be running in the
Exactly,
back of your head,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
then you don't support that business. And like the cycle, it's a cycle, I think, though, but businesses also don't make that much money. It's just,
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's just a cycle to fly. Okay,
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention just this exact thing, Sunny. I read like a comment. I was watching this video and there was some person who commented, even doing the right thing, I know, कस्तो high class कुरा भइसक्यो क्या अहिले.
Oh
Because
yeah.
as you said, everyone's aware. Let's say person A and person B. Person A is super rich. Person B is like earns like it's a working class person. Manam na. They both are aware of the ethical reasons why they need to like shop locally. But then person
Mm.
A has the money to like shop locally. Person B doesn't,
Exactly.
and it's so ironic. It's so ironic.
I know, I
It's
know.
just like अब राम्रो हुनु पनि like धनी हुनुपर्ने खालको scenario भइसक्यो नि. It's just so it's just really sad. But again, as I said, minimize गर्ने नै like is the best that we can do.
Yeah, I can relate because I was able to afford not upcycle but Nepal made products when I started to earn. Okay? When I was in the middle of my bachelor's degree, I started doing part time and I had some spare money to buy actually what I wanted to buy. Before that, I was aware, but I could not because if I tell my mom, "Okay, I want to buy this, it's cost this," then she's also like, यतिमा पाउँछ किन यति तिरेर किन्छ हो
Yeah.
पर्दैन
Yeah.
एक्ज्याक्टली
So we discussed a lot about fast fashion, all that. Let's come back to what you are doing. I know I've seen like some pictures of what you make. I know, like I'm not sure how much of you if you can share, you would like to share, but would you like to share about the products you make? Any, I really want this to be like a promotion for your. I mean, like I hope better you people in Nepal better stop buying from her. I'm just kidding. Would you like to just explain a little bit about what, like the products you have and you like make it and all that?
Yeah, so right now our we started out by upcycling the jeans. So we upcycle post-consumer jeans that are like you already used by the consumers and they're weighted off or they do not use it anymore. Those jeans and we also upcycle the factory wasted jeans. So factory wasted jeans are those which are like प्रोडक्सनमा गयो म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङमा गयो बट केही ड्यामेजले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ दे कुड नट बी सोल्ड दे इदर टोन अर डिस्कलर or something and we upcycle those two types of jeans. So out of the jeans, we right now make bags. We wait, I'm so sorry, I got a call in Messenger.
No worries, take your time.
Yeah, okay. So we upcycle those jeans into making bags. So while making bags, we are trying to sell a little bit of smaller size of bags that are like stronger in quality because since it's upcycled, we have to deconstruct it and it's not like making from the entire fabric. It's a little bit hard and in order to ensure that it's durable and people use it for a long period of time, we're basically focusing on the smaller bags. Right now we make tote bags, dusting bags. We are trying to make sling bags and we also provide upcycling services to those people who do not want who have the jeans and want something made from their own jeans. So basically right now we sell upcycle products and we give upcycling service. And apart from that, from the jeans, we also partner up with the local artisan of Kathmandu itself who upcycle milk plastics.
Ah,
I was actually searching for something if I have nearby to grab off. I don't have it right now, but we upcycle milk plastic, and by make from the milk plastic. So milk plastic is deconstructed and made into a thread. It can it's called plant. So it's like plastic yarn. It's called plant, and then the local artisans they crochet it, they knit it, and make it into coasters and earrings.
oh yeah, I've seen the earrings. Wow. Okay, I was wondering what it is made out of. Okay, that's amazing. And they're beautiful, beautiful earrings. Very
Thank
unique,
you.
funny
Thank you so
color. Like
much.
amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing about how all of that works. Very interesting.
Yeah.
The next question that I want to ask is, I was just looking at my notes. Keep busy, whatever.
Okay.
The next question I want to ask is, how does it feel, or rather, what are the challenges that you've faced? I know, like I mean, you're pretty young, I think, to be like to start a business. I could never. I know I like to take risks, but not that big risks, and I just feel I'm not like just the business mind just like the mirror. But whenever I see, maybe because of that, whenever I see people in business, young people in business, especially women in business, it's really inspiring. I get really influenced by that, not particularly to do business or like ke garnu parcha jasto huncha malai. So what are the challenges that you faced before starting a business, or while you're like doing this right now? Do you want to shed light on that?
Yeah, so before starting the business, it was the very challenging part was to find people who would agree to make the products because I'm not a tailor, I'm not a designer. I do not have technical skill, right? I have a lot of background knowledge about the theory and what designs I want to make, but I'm not a tailor.
Right.
So what I did was I went to a number of places who my requested key. I have is to jeans, now and also for to make the products from jeans, you need a little bit of better tailoring machine because sewing on jeans is a little bit harder part. So I went on to the people who are making bags and all, and I said, "Ki, so I want to produce SSO materials, SSO products also. And but I'll give you jeans and I showed the designs and they were like, त्योभन्दा बरु जिन्सको फेब्रिकै लिएर आउनु न इट्स बेटर टु बाई जिन्स फेब्रिक एन्ड देन विल मेक वाट एभर यु वान्ट एन्ड आई सेड कि नो आई वान्ट टु फोकस अन अपसाइक्लिङ आई रियली वान्ट टु फोकस अन अपसाइक्लिङ आई No, I said I want to focus on recycling because people don't know about upcycling. I want to recycle this, and they're like, it's really good what you're trying to do, but we are not going to do it because we have other orders too. While making your order, it will take us double of the time than making the simple product. So we cannot do it. Either you pay us double the money, which was like a lot. How much would I sell the products in if I pay for manufacturing that much? And otherwise, we cannot do it. They appreciated me, but they did not agree
They're
to
looking
help
out for
me.
themselves भनौँ आफ्नै फाइदा
Exactly, yeah, exactly. अब हुन पनि हो because they also have running a local tailoring shop. I could not afford taking double of the time, and they also were like they have to think a lot because from the simple fabric you just put the pattern, you just do it right, and we see it's easy. It's easier. It takes us a lot less bit of time. And for me, they had to think about again like what to do, where to what parts to take out of a jean to fit into this design and all. So logistically, it was difficult for them, and they did not agree to me. And if I could, I would have done, but I did not really trust myself to get into tailoring, and then that's all. And then I came across my mom has a friend whom I heard ki they make something out of plastic, right? And but when I saw the products, when I was a child, I used to see the products, and which I was like, hey, cool. They are making things out of plastic. And then I suddenly remember, ki, okay, they are there. I completely forgot about them before. And then that auntie is like OG of upcycling in Nepal. She has trained a lot of people. She has
Wow,
trained a number of foreigners who came in Nepal. And basically, she used to sell a lot of products to export a lot of products to outside to upcycle products. And she has trained a lot of people. I was a little bit intimidated thinking, okay, she's in this field since decades, right? And I was a little bit scared. If I approach her, will she पाउँदैलाई कि नाइ भनेर I was scared. But I just requested my mom कि कसैले पनि मानेन बनाउन होइन मेरो आफ्नैकै आन्टी मात्रै हो अनि I was not in a state कि to hire something to someone to train someone and make the tailor do make the pro make the tailors shoe the products I wanted to. I was not in that state to hire someone, right? And then I just requested mom, can you set up a meeting with her? And within a week, she called her old friend, and I went to meet them. And she was really happy to know that a young person wants to do something out of the upcycled products because were into upcycling some 10 years ago, some 10-20 years ago. They started that.
it's
About,
remarkable.
exactly, it's very remarkable, right? But at that time people were not aware about the sustainable businesses, the ethical businesses and all, so they were not able to sell the upcycle products. So they were a tailoring company who empowered the local women, and they used to take orders from any kind of orders, not just upcycling. So when I went, they were really happy. Okay, so someone finally is interested in upcycling, and they agreed. And then for almost 1 month we built the prototypes. We experimented on a number of things, and then the final product was made, and then tada, Purikriti was born
That's
finally.
amazing. So are you do you have a co-founder or like what's the
One co-founder is recently joining. So I was on my own for past 5 months. So since 1 month, one of my friend is very interested, and but he wants to support, and but we are slowly getting in the process of registering the business. So we
that's
will
amazing.
hopefully
Amazing.
go as
All the best.
co-founders.
All the
Thank
best. I
you.
wish you all the success and I hope like
Thank you so
your
much.
business flourishes.
Yeah.
And I really want to ask this, and I'm pretty sure if I Google this, like I will know it right away, but I really want to hear it from you. So what's the difference between upcycling and recycling? Like I have
So
sounds a little similar, like तिमीले भनेको process हुन्छ नि recycling पनि त्यही चिज like गर्ने जस्तो त हुँदैन like फेरि like
mm,
modified and use in a like a different way. So what's the difference?
so thank you very much for asking. When you said in the beginning upcycling, what is that word? Like I knew well, a lot of people really do not know about upcycling. I
Yeah,
know. So thank you so much for asking. This is a very important question. So recycling is when suppose I'll give an example. Right? So this is a plastic bottle, right? So this is a plastic bottle. So taking its example, if we have to recycle it, so there are a number of companies who collect plastic bottles and they recycle it. So what they do is they melt this plastic. So when you melt it, the actual of this bottle is gone, Nita. You melt this and then they make either bricks out of it, or they make uh, I only know about bricks for now, right? They make other by plastic bag गरेपछि अरू फर्ममा पनि ल्याउनु मिल्छ. So if this is a bottle and you want to recycle it, you have to destroy its current form and make other product. That is recycling. But if I do not want to change the form of this bottle, then what I could do for upcycling is I could cut this bottle and I could make a plant pot out of it. So
Ah,
when I make the plant pot, I did not change the form of this bottle, Nita. It's still a bottle. I just cut it and just I modified it to make something of a better use. So that
hmm,
is upcycling.
I see. So recycle, say basically the material that you have, its whole
Mm,
form will be changed or goes to its
yeah.
initial form where it was made into that form, and this
Mm,
pashi again it, like becomes something else. The
yeah.
upcycling is just whatever you have, it just modified then and there. Okay, okay, thank you. I'm really glad you explained that to me. Like, I
Mm.
was just thinking like key difference like that. I'm not sure. Did you share this Insta Mapani?
I
Haven't?
haven't actually. When you
You
ask
haven't?
the
Okay.
specific
I was just
question, difference.
wondering.
When you ask the specific question, difference between upcycle is like I'm like pushing that after 2 weeks. It's scheduled. I made the post. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hope everyone who's listening this like but
Mm,
gets what it is now. And thank you so much. Let me see. I have like one last question left.
mm,
Or not. Actually, I actually merged both of the questions that I had, like challenges and this might sound like very, very you might have already answered this, and this is also regarding challenges that I had another person who was also businesswoman few weeks ago who I did a podcast with. I mean, this was also one of the questions I asked her, like being a woman, how different do you think it is being in the business industry? You know, but this question might be relevant to you or not. About. I know, like, har ek cheez mein you don't have to talk about women empowerment all that, but like
mm.
I want to just ask this question. Do you do you feel any kind of challenges that you face just because you're a woman doing a business, or you haven't really faced anything at all?
I must say, like, I have put myself out there in like markets and all, but I haven't put myself in a situation where I haven't faced the situation where because of being a woman, I faced some challenges. But there is this thing here about whenever you have to, since I was alone in my business for past 5 months, I had to run around to a lot of places, and it took a little bit of time for people to take me seriously. Little bit of time, because until and
Yeah,
unless I contacted them 2 or 3 times, they were like, okay. Only after that they were like, actually seriously, okay, she wants to do something, and which she's coming in her own scooter, carrying everything on her dicky, and tying everything on her back seat and doing everything, and then only they started to take me seriously. Otherwise, in the initial days, it was like, oh, one person just came and she's just talking about her ideas and she's asking help, and which until and unless I followed up for 2 3 times, I didn't get the answer. But again, I do not know if it's because I was a woman, or it's just because I came there alone, and but she I just I was asking them something to do something new. I'm not sure, not really sure if it was I faced those problems because I was a woman.
yeah, I really can't speak for your experience, but I think it might be that case because
Mm-mm-mm.
the person I'm talking about, Shradadi, with whom I did this podcast a few weeks ago,
Mm.
she said the exact same thing. She said that
Okay.
people don't take you seriously as a woman sometimes, and I
Yeah.
mean, might not be a coincidence. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I also like work on this ma okay, whatever. I also work with the job that I do also has a lot of I mean men I think 90-95% men, very less women.
Mm.
I don't really feel like I'm not being taken seriously, but like I think you can actually feel that vibe of like like being aware that, oh, you're a woman, like among these men. And but I'm really glad that women are like shining everywhere, and especially in business. I think that's like great deal for me, because growing up with Sunny, I never really saw like even like movies around, like, or people around us. I never really saw like business गर्ने भन्ने बित्तिकै केटाको image आउँथ्यो कि दिमागमा, like
Mm-mm-mm.
that's how it was. I'm really happy that that's changing slowly. And see a lot of business women rising and shining through and through.
Yeah. It's really good. I get really happy when I see a local business and it's led by women and its products are made by women. I'm like
It's amazing. Yeah.
very supportive. Even if I haven't bought from them, I just came across them. I'm really happy for them. Kind of a bias because I'm a woman too and I know the struggles. I can relate to. But yeah,
Yeah.
and the places I manufacture they're all women and it's I must say it's comparatively easy to work because they do not like not take you seriously and then they just understand and they're supportive. It's easy to work with women, I would agree that.
Yeah.
But now that we are planning to register and we are planning to grow, I'm a little bit thinking luckily my co-founder is a man. I don't want to say luckily but a little bit I just feel like something I would have faced is kind of reduced because I would have one more partner to go with and he being a man the process might be a little bit faster. For I'm thinking for my business, like not thinking for myself personally. I'm just like, okay, I don't have to
Mm.
struggle alone. I don't have to struggle because I'm a woman. I'm just happy for that. And this
Yeah.
is all because you know ki you won't be taken seriously everywhere you go. And I hate to admit that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing, but also it is sad
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
same time. But I mean, as long as your business reaches new heights, I'm happy for you. That's all the questions I had. Do you have anything else to add? This has been such a wonderful conversation, by the way. We've touched like upon so many things, and I'm really glad that we got a chance to do this. Would you like to add anything else before we wrap this up?
So I don't have anything एकदमै specific to add about the business. I was really happy that you knew a lot about the ethical side of the production and the sustainable fashion way. And I just want to say, ki, whoever are listening to this podcast, it might feel like we talked about a number of jargons and a lot of information in the beginning of the podcast because once you start to research, then you just realize ki, okay so many things are wrong even in the
Yeah.
smallest thing that we produce and what we consume, right? So I just want to say ki, if you it's not like you don't have to do a lot of big things to make the right choice while purchasing. uh, Whatever you buy, make sure that you use it, right? And buy as much as possible from the local people because you know where your what you own are coming from, and once you have that much of the detail, just that much of the detail, who's making it, where is it coming from, you just feel connected to your clothes. And it's like you just went a little bit of farther way, you just invested your time in understanding about the things you own, and you automatically become more responsible of taking better care of it. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah, thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nasana. And whoever is listening, I hope you all learned something. I learned a lot from Nasana today, and please support her business. I'll probably add or drop the links in here in the description here, and go check out her Instagram. Instagram is like, do you have Facebook?
We
Just
have Facebook
Instagram.
but we're not that active. It's
Okay.
basically
Okay.
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, Instagram and TikTok, go check
Yeah.
it out. And thank you again, everyone, for listening. And I'll be back with another podcast pretty soon. All right, bye, everyone.
Bye, thank you.